the launch of our new collaboration between Bojesen Denmark and Nørgaard Copenhagen. We have been really looking forward to this day, to revealing this exciting collaboration. And now you're going to hear a talk that design critic Lars Hedebo is going to facilitate. And we've got Tine Casper, our head of design, and then Nørgaard, of course. But welcome everyone, and go ahead.
Thank you so much, and hello everyone, and welcome to this day. It's such a beautiful day. We're so lucky during these days that the weather is so fine. And as you know, we are joined here to talk about classics in design, and especially we are joined to talk about the monkey dressed up in a t-shirt, which I suppose that none of you have ever seen before. It has been so secret that it just came out today.
4 minutes ago.
4 minutes ago. And as you may know, the monkey that you see here is from 1951. It was designed by Bojesen, and it's being produced by Rosendahl Design Group, where you're from, Tine. And here it's dressed up in a t-shirt from Nørgaard Copenhagen, and the t-shirt, which is also called 101, t-shirt. It was made in 1967 by your father, Jan Nørgaard.
It was indeed.
Yeah. And both the monkey and the t-shirt are considered classics in Denmark. And I don't know if you know this book, Danske Design-ikoner, but when you browse through that, you find the Armchair by Arne Jacobsen, you find Jewelry by George Jensen, you find the lamps from Paul Henningsen, and you also find the monkey, of course, because it's a real Danish classic. And of course you also find the t-shirt, which is here, and this is apparently like the old school t-shirt with the red. Yeah,
We'll return to that.
yeah, we'll come back to that. When we talk about classics in Denmark, sometimes we can't really figure out why do we call things classics, and we will talk about that as well. But it's something with things that have survived style, production, like changes in production. It's also things that has survived fashion. And they are cherished by consumers, not only in Denmark, but also in Europe, in the US, in Japan, and in Australia, and in a lot of countries. But there's also something about these design pieces that we call classics that is interesting, and it's that they're so subtle somehow. There's no decorations in a lot of cases. Like it's very much about material and forms, and there's a humanity about it. Even the monkey is a little bit human, you may say. And you can say that a Danish design classic can last for ages. A lot of the things were made in the 1930s, 40s, 50s, and these things are from the 50s and the 60s. So somehow we just can't get enough of classics in Denmark. And today it's so funny that we combine two classics. And it's the first time that the monkey has been dressed up that way. So it's a mix of classics that's it's amazing. I think it's actually quite funny. And Tine, Casper, could you explain how did you come up with the idea of dressing up the monkey in a t-shirt? Usually you don't see a monkey with a t-shirt.
No, you don't. Well, we thought that we wanted to take the monkey out on an adventure. And putting the monkey into a new context, we thought that would be very interesting. And it is something that Bojesen himself did. Back in the days, we have images of the monkey out and about in Copenhagen together with Bojesen. So we thought that was a very playful approach that Bojesen also did. So we thought that was also a way to honor Bojesen. And we wanted to make a collaboration with another iconic design piece. And dressing up the monkey is for us almost natural because it's so humanized. So the graphic element that we saw in the 101 t-shirt was very striking, and it's a design icon. And letting these two design icons meet will just give something new. It will be added. And also some of the words that is used to describe the one-on-one t-shirt that is described on Mass Nørgaard's webpage is actually telling about how they lived with the one-on-one t-shirt. People have worked, kissed, danced in the t-shirt, and we see the same kind of values in the Bojesen monkey. It's something that you cherish throughout life. It's something that you're given for special moments. So you have the same kind of values, and that's what we saw a very clear connection with Mass Nørgaard. So we decided to reach out and ask Mass if he wanted to join us in this collaboration.
And did you love the idea from the first moment?
I was a little stunned. I thought of course I was flattered being asked about doing something with the one-on-one t-shirt, but I was like, can this ever become a good idea, product, a good result? And I was like, I'm not sure about that. And then I asked the three people that I always take advice from, because they also my worst critics, my wife and my 2 kids. They were all like, no, it's not. It's not going to be a success. But then I thought on it, and I said, well, it might be. Yeah, let's have a meeting and let's see if this could work out. And then the process has been really nice. It's been so nice working along this, and it's been really smooth. And the further we went, the further we came down the path, the more it grew and the better it got. So I think I'm really proud of the result, and I think for once my wife and my 2 kids made a mistake.
Usually you told them that.
I have told them that. They're still like, you should be okay, it's fine.
But how come the t-shirts are not the same, like they're
Yes.
different?
This is the story of this t-shirt. We call it the one-on-one, and my father designed it in 1967, and he wanted to do an indoor t-shirt for women at the time to be worn indoor, because the temperature. This is after the Second World War. This is the welfare state. What's it called?
Welfare state.
The welfare state. This is the emerging welfare state, so indoor temperature rises. So suddenly women are not obliged to wear cardigan sets in wool indoor, they can actually wear a t-shirt. And t-shirts became sort of, this is before my time, my dad told me all this. T-shirt became the symbol of freedom and of youth rebellion and of the hippie era and the women's liberation and so on. And we all remember, I guess, Marlon Brando is in Storby Town in a white t-shirt. So this was a symbol of freedom, and he wanted to do a t-shirt to honor all that, and a cotton t-shirt to get rid of the cardigan sets. So he designed this one, which comes in stripes, it comes in knee color, and it's produced in Denmark, and it's without a side seam. So it's a one size, which is weird because people are not one size. But this is so elastic, so it actually works. We claim that we do 13 stripes, 13 unis every season, and every season sort of we reduce them and we start again with the black and white and the black and white stripes. We claim this one to be the first. This is the original. The cru, the off-white with the black, and the red binding. So this is the one we cherish the most. This one we only sell in the shop on Nørgaard in Copenhagen. You cannot buy this wholesale. You cannot buy it online. If you're not near us and you want it sent by mail, you have to call the shop, make an you send it. So it's not an easy online thing because it's only in the shop on Nørgaard. So I thought from the beginning, let's dress the monkey in this. But then you said, what if people want? What if it's a success and it works? What if people want it? It's a little complicated to do like that. So we discussed that, and then we developed the other T-shirt, and we have one in the house, and you're wearing it,
Yes.
which is the opposite. So it's black and off-white with a red binding, and that one we have never done before. We've done it on the occasion of this collaboration, and of course we call it the Kai.
And it's such an honor
to wear a Kai.
to wear a Kai.
And this one you can buy online and wholesale in other shops and so on. So this one is really closed on Nørgaard, and this one is like all around the world.
And we talk about this T-shirt as a design icon. Do you think did your dad also know that he knew that he was making something special when he designed it, or was it just something that he made and then he later found out that this is actually a big success?
He found out later.
Yeah.
Because I think when being a designer, when you design something, you always think this is going to be this is probably the best I ever did. And you think that on a daily basis, but you usually get it. But if you're lucky, a few products will survive and will stay on. But it requires that you're stubborn, and I mean, it goes like this. Sometimes it's good, it's really bad, it's really good. And even though it's bad, you have to believe in it and keep the belief and be stubborn enough to say we're going to do it. No matter if it sells or not, I'm going to produce this one. And only, I mean, if you got that kind of energy and that stubbornness, then maybe at the end it can. And if people want to embrace it, and cherish it and want it. So he didn't know at that time, but I think he found out quite rapidly that there's something going on here that could become a success. Having said that, sometimes at seasons we don't sell that.
But you keep it in your collection, like it's always.
We keep it in the collection. We keep it as a separate collection that it's only for few shops, and you cannot. Usually in my line of business, designing clothes shop, other shops or retailers come to us and they want to buy 2 of that and 1 of that and 1 of these and 4 of that, like in your business. With this one, we say it's different. You cannot do that. You can either you buy it and you have the full package. You have all of the colors, all the styles. Of course, you have the small shops. It's not that easy. It never goes on sale. If you don't like, you have to. We choose it, and if you don't have that much space, we choose it for you. We decide what you get. If you don't like it, you can return it. You have to pay it in advance. That's nice. You have to pay it in advance. If you don't like it, you return it and you get the money back instantly. Cash money. So it's like we try to reverse it. And also there's so many things in this one, but then it's still produced in Denmark. It's produced on in a production. It's knitted in e-cast. The 3 knitting machines is around there, right? There's 3 round knit machines that are working 24/7 in e-cast that only does this T-shirt. Okay. And they claim at that factory in e-cast, it's not the same factory because Bjørn Hansen retired and then another one to go and so on. But they claim that the 2 of the machines are the same that they did from the very beginning. Maybe it's not a great story. It's a nice story. And then they knit it. And then in Herning, just around the corner, at Chemotextil, they dye it, and then we do the production in Korsør at our production. So it's all made in Denmark. And which is weird these days because there's not much textile production in Denmark. But we cherish it and we want it that way because we have deliveries like twice a week in the shop. Because we meet every week to say we should a little more black with this stripe is good, this one is not so good, should we reduce? So we're very close to the production because bottom line is that everybody could take this T-shirt and bring it to China and produce them for like less than a 10. But then they would all become the same and we would have enough of them. But now the funny thing happened, I'm going to stop talking about it. Sometimes we're sold out, which is weird. And it retails at $289.
Yeah,
how cheap? It's quite reasonable, and sometimes you cannot get it.
No.
And people are like, why can I not? Why is it sold out? This is really weird. And that's a nice story. It's a nice story.
No, that was perfect. And there's also a nice story connected to the monkey. I mean, it was made in 1951, and apparently it was made as a hanger by Bojesen.
It was indeed, yeah. It was actually if I can borrow this. So, for the children who couldn't reach the clothing, Bojesen actually made it. It started out as a functional piece, so the kids would be able to reach their clothes. But he really quickly realized that it was a hybrid between a functional piece and also had this aesthetic appearance. But yeah, it started out as an extra hanger for the coat brand.
How important is it for you today as a company? I mean, whenever you travel and you talk about the monkey, people know it all over the world.
Yeah, it is. It's very important for us today. It has the value of this recognizability. It has the craftsmanship, as does the one-on-one T-shirt. So it has really endured the time, and it stands out as a Danish icon. So it is very important for us today. And it's still a very much cherished item, design object for gifting. So for people who are giving at birth or any anniversary throughout the life, it's something that people cherish. And I think that it's seen as a symbol of curiosity and really just creativity. So it's something that people can relate to and engage with. So it has this striking warmth and joyfulness about it. And
do you think you can see that it was made in the 1950s, or is there something?
Well, I think that when Kai made it back in '51, he started out making it, drilling it with these curved lines, and in the 1950s, designed in the 1950s, people were trying to make more simplified, more modernized shapes. But I think you can consider this as timeless. It has this really simple shape. It has an engaging and warm look. So I would consider it timeless. And I think I wanted to mention, because the detail that Lars mentions about the T-shirt is also something that when we changed it over to the monkey, all those details we worked really very caring about. So we wanted to keep the same report that we have on the T-shirt. So exactly the same that we do on the monkey. And this is painted on. And we have the Nørgaard Copenhagen on the back side of it. We have the significant red color. And same goes for the other high version. And
what I think is so sweet about the monkey is that it's actually, it looks happy and it's smiling, and it's a little bit like it's not a slim kind of figure like you would maybe make it today. And I think it's actually quite fun to see it with the T-shirt, because the T-shirt doesn't hide anything. Like if you are, you can really see your body, and so it looks a little bit.
But it is a one size.
Exactly.
But it's a one size, and I think that we do realize that the T-shirt also is a bit on the short side. But we all know that short T-shirts are really trendy. So
it's a crop top.
It's a crop top, and I don't think you shouldn't hide your curvy shapes. And I think the Kai, so just really embrace it. And I think that Kai has these, the monkey has these curvy shapes. So it's just really a matter of embracing it and showing it off.
But it has one. The monkey has one quality. Before, when you see it, it makes you smile. I mean, everyone has seen when you meet, it's like, yes, it's a positive vibe, which is amazing. Not much design has that.
No, it's very rare in Danish design, because when we in Denmark we have this idea that design is very, very important, and of course it is, because we have to think about production and materials and the resources. But sometimes we tend to think as being like nuclear science. Like we really have to make things more. Like it has to be important. Whereas when you go to Italy or France, they're more playful. So this is actually, I think it's very nice that you do this, because you're putting some new playfulness into Danish design.
But I think from Kai's point of view, he was very joyful. He wanted to make people happy. So for him, it was very important to work with humor. And this has been one of his key elements throughout all things that he has been doing, that it has that appealing. And I think when you work with humor in design, you are able to engage people in the design more. So they actually relate to it.
But it's very delicate, because it cannot be ha ha ha.
No.
It should be.
No, it's not.
And so it's, and I
it's
think that balance and that humanity, it is very, very difficult.
It has to be sophisticated.
It has to be so sophisticated and such a genuine touching. Because I very much agree with you. In Denmark, we have a tendency of that design becomes almost museum pieces, and we cannot talk. Sorry, it's so. And I think that's good design should be cherished. But good design are made to be used. It's made to be in your hand, and it's made to be and when you use things, the arms, we have one in the office, the arm just fell off. But that's what happens. That's what I mean, if good design, if you use it, good cheeser, they get worn. And they get a hole here, and then you repair it. People should repair things more. You should all repair things more, and things should have the quality that you want to repair them. But that's the whole idea of good design, that it's more beautiful the more it gets nicer, the more you use it.
It's the craftsmanship that
Yes,
also
the
makes it
craftsmanship, yes.
endure the time.
Time is running here, I feel. But I would like to ask you, you're playing with two icons here, design icons. Is there a limit to what you can do? Like, could you paint him? Like, could he be striped from toe to head, or could you put him in a Liberace dress, or and also with a t-shirt? Is there a limit to what you can do?
Yes.
What do you think about that? Is this fine? But
I mean, I think this is. I don't think this is fine. I think this is really, really good.
yeah,
I think it's really to the point.
Yeah.
Could we have gone further? Oh,
that's fine.
yeah, that's fine. Could we have gone further? No, I think this is. I think it's just. I think this is spot on. It could be funny to do something else and to do this and that. And we often do. No, sometimes we do collaborations with a T-shirt where we go further. But I think this is spot on also, and then this is honourable to both sides.
It's a really good design harmony, I would say. So we have the long lasting, we have the craftsmanships, and we have the details. So it really is a good design harmony. And from Kai Bojesen point of view, I think it's just perfect. And we always consider how we work with design with the Kai Bojesen brand. We preserve and we develop. We don't want only nostalgic items. We want to put it also out there. So it's not just. You have to be able to relate to it in the day we're living in.
And there is one political comment in it. You were hinting at it before that it's curvy, and the T-shirt it doesn't hide the curves. So I mean, embrace your curves, and this is honor the curves and honor people as they are, and all the differences we're created with. And I think that is a comment to how the fashion world sometimes behaves as if we're all skinny and white and so on. So I think there's a political comment that I think is really important.
Do you think you've created a new design icon?
I think we created, well, it is a design icon, and I think it's a keeper. It's really striking. So whether it's a classic, time will show. But for sure it's something that is heartwarming, and I think it's a keeper for sure. But it is within this year that we are selling it, so it's in this year.
Yeah, you can only get it for 1 year.
Yes.
Yeah. Before we end this, I would like to ask, are there any questions? Or there's time after this, so you can just come up and ask.
Can I say one thing about
the
T-shirt?
Absolutely.
Which is also about this good design, to use design and to repair things. We have the policy in the house that if you have a T-shirt that's more than 20 years old, we change it for a new one. We don't expect you to have the receipt. but I want the old one. The idea is to cherish things that are used and that are worn and so on, because I want to see how it's been worn and how the threads I have, the colors and so on. So if you know anybody who has one that's more than 20 years old, I want it. And you get it.
I would also like to say, if the monkey the arm does fall off, we will repair it.
I know. For you in the sticks to repair it.
I will help you out.
I know. That's why I mentioned it. Because it's something that you can actually do.
This has been wonderful. We could talk about monkeys and T-shirts all day, but thank you so much, Tine, Casper, and Nørgaard. And congratulations on the monkey. I really like it. I think it's very charming, and it makes you smile. And it makes you want a T-shirt as well. Thank you so much.
Just wanted to say thank you to the three of you for putting words on the meeting between these two lovely designs. And to the rest of you, thank you again for coming. Please go upstairs. We have 2 floors of really exciting exhibitions showcasing all our brands,